Good morning, children. So now today we are going to go for another topic, that is electrical energy and power. Yesterday we had talked about resistivity and resistance and how the resistivity changes with temperature. If you have done it that nicely, you can attempt these questions, exercise 3.5, 3.6 and 3.7 from your NCERT book. These are the unsolved exercises. There are two solved examples also. First you can do those, and after that you can try attempting these three questions. Now we talk about electrical energy and power. See, as far as the energy is concerned, I have already told you, always been telling you, that whenever we talk about energy, we have to find out the work done. Now, since here we are talking about electrical energy, so we'll have to take the formula which is involving electrical physical quantities in the expression. Like for energy, work done, we have got force into displacement. Here we will not be using that, but we will be using this expression. V is equals to W upon Q. And now I think every one of you is familiar with this expression. So W will be equal to V into Q. This is, we can take as equation number 1. And this work done will now be electrical energy. So if I take it as electrical energy, say write electrical energy or say energy only, will be equal to work done, will be equal to. Now this expression can be written in some other physical quantities involving current. How we can write down? Now in place of Q, I can write down IT. VIT. Because Q can be written as IT. So this is my one expression, that energy is VIT. This we can take as equation number 2. Now electrical energy can further be written in other terms. Say how? E can also be written as, what I can substitute in place of V is IR. So I can write it as IRIT. This is going to give me I square RT. This is one more expression for energy. The third expression which we can obtain again is E is equal. Now in place of I have kept V, I have kept IR. Now in place of I can keep V upon R. So V into V upon R into T. This will give me V square upon R into T. This is one more expression for electrical energy in terms of voltage and resistance. Since these two expressions involve resistance, so most of the time these expressions are involved when electrical energy is converted into heat energy. And you know that this heat energy, also we have got Joule's formula, H is equals to I square RT. See, this has come from this expression itself. So these two expressions are generally involved when energy is, or electrical energy is being converted into heat, wherever we are involving a resistance. Accordingly, when we go for power, now this becomes very simple. As we have done energy, in the similar manner, we will get three expressions for power also. Because power, how is power defined? Power is defined as work upon time. So since we have got these expressions for work also, so how will we get three expressions for power? Power will be also equal to VI. This is one expression. I can take it as, say, equation A. Power can also be written as I square R. This is, say, expression B. And P can also be written as V V square upon R. This you can take as expression number C. So in this we have got three expressions, each for work done and power. Now we shall talk about their units. Now as far as P is concerned here, when we say P is equal to work done upon time, so whenever we are talking about electricity, it is always electrical energy upon time. These are the similar expressions. So what shall be the unit for power here? See, energy we generally calculate in terms of joule. This is second. So unit of power is joule per second, and this is known as watt in the honor of the name of a scientist. Watt denoted by W. A bigger unit, kilowatt, is also used. So for energy we are using joules, for time we are using seconds, and this gives energy unit of power as joule per second, which is known as watt. There is one more thing, commercial unit of energy. Commercial unit of electricity. Whenever we are saying energy here, we are again and again talking about only electrical energy. Now commercial means the unit which we use in business. And where we are using it in business, like we are paying our electricity bill. So how is then electrical energy used or consumed by us is being determined. That is determined in terms of kilowatt hour, and which is known as 1 unit. The electricity bill which we obtain or which we get is in terms of unit. That is how many units have been used during the month. And whatever the money for the 1 unit, that is being multiplied with the units which we have been using, and accordingly the bill comes. Now how it comes in kilowatt hour is, see, here what we are doing is E will be equal to P into T. See, unit of P is what we have already done, but I said that kilowatt hour is also being used as a unit. So for commercial purposes, power is always determined in kilowatt, and time is taken in hours. And this unit now, kilowatt hour, is the commercial unit of energy. Most of the time, students get confused with kilowatt itself, and as soon as it is asked, see what is the unit of energy and kilowatt hour is if it's written, they treat it as if it is a unit of power. So you have to be careful. And when is the 1 unit used in your homes? When you are using, say, an appliance of 1 kilowatt for 1 hour. Suppose it is, there is a 1 kilowatt, 1000 watt, 100 watts bulb. So 1000 watts. So 1 kilowatt bulbs. If you are using it for 1 hour, then you will get how much energy is being consumed? 1 kilowatt hour. And how much is this 1 kilowatt energy in terms of joule? We can convert it into joules also, kilowatt. See, when we are going to convert it into joules, I have to take energy in joules and time in seconds. So kilowatt, so power in watts now, 1000, time in seconds, 60 into 60. So 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joules. So 1 kilowatt hour will be equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joules. But this is used in commercial purposes. This you can generally use for your numericals or other things also. Now we'll talk about combination of resistors. See, these are the things, if you have done in class 10, it is a sort of revision for them. Combination of resistors. So resistors can be combined in series and in parallel. Suppose they are combined in series. So we'll now consider, say, 3 resistors, say R1, R2 and R3 across a potential difference, say V. We can have a source of current. So current will flow in the circuit from positive to negative terminal. Now what are the conditions in series connection? Here current will remain same. V will be different across each resistor. So let us consider V1, V2 and V3 be the potentials which we have dropped across resistors. Now total V must be equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. See, here we are assuming that the resistance of this connecting wires can be neglected. So V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. So V1 can be written as now I R1 plus I R2 plus I R3. Now what do we want? We want that instead of these 3 resistors, if I want to use only one resistor, then what shall I do? What shall be its value? So suppose there is only one resistor. Say R. In that case, whole of the potential will drop across R itself and the current passing through it will be I. So this V will be equal to I R. This is going to give me R is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So in series connection, your resistors will be simply added. And in series combination, the resistance so obtained will be more than the largest value of those resistors. And you can also see that it is just the reverse as in the case of a capacitor. You can either way say whether either it is in capacitor it is the reverse of resistance, or in resistance it is the reverse of capacitor, and you have to be very careful while doing the questions. Now in parallel. In parallel. So again consider 3 resistor, say connected in parallel across a say potential difference V Say this is R1, R2, R3, potential difference V. Now in parallel combination, potential will remain same, current will become different. How? Say the current supplied by the cell is say I. Now on reaching at this place, what will happen? Depending upon the value of resistance, the current will have an option to move in the three paths. Lower the resistance, more current can pass through that particular wire. So accordingly to resistors, the current will also be different. Say it is I1, I2 and I3. And the total current being supplied, I will be equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now this I1 will be equal to V upon R1. We are using Ohm's law. V upon R2 plus V upon R3. Now in place of these three, I want say a single resistor in the circuit, which is R. Then the total current I is going to flow through R only, and the potential drop across R will be V. So I can written as V upon R, where this R is the equivalent resistance. So from this expression we get 1 upon R is equals to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. Again you can see it is the reverse of capacitor, and that too in parallel combination the equivalent resistance is going to decrease. The value you will obtain for the equivalent resistance will be smaller than the smallest of these three resistors. Suppose the three resistors are 2, 3 and 4 ohms. So the answer which you are going to get will be less than 2. This is the combination of resistors. Now we'll talk about how many types of resistors we can have. See, we do have two types of resistors. One is types of resistors. See, once we have done the series and parallel combination, you can do from your NCERT book the unsolved exercises 3.3 and 3.4. That you can try doing. Now in types of resistors, one is wire bound resistors and another is carbon resistors. See, wire bound resistors are made up of wires. We can certainly for standard resistors we do use an alloy. We can use constant 10 manganese, and they are in the form of very fine wire like this. That wires are bound. They are bound like you can say a small spring it can be, so that at quite some length can be used at small place. Now for these, carbon is a semiconductor material. The average or mediocre type of resistors like which shall have resistance not very large, not very less. Like somewhere we have to use insulating materials also. There we use mica etc. Where we use conductors like in these connecting wires and transmission wires we use conductors. But some places we need less resistance, not very less resistance but quite some value. Then in that case we use carbon resistors. And one more advantage of using carbon resistors is they are very compact, very small in size and less expensive. Less expensive. These carbon resistors, their values can be read from their rings on these resistors. We'll be talking about color code tomorrow, but you shall be familiar with that. We have got two types of resistors. One is wire bound, another is carbon resistor. Carbon resistors are being advantage of being compact and less expensive, and also make the size of the device very small. So they are being frequently used. How the colors are estimated, made, and how they are estimated values, we'll do it tomorrow. That is the color code of resistance. So this much you try doing.